Hello guys, welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to discuss about data types in Python. So let's look into that, the topic which we are going to discuss over here. So basically, we are going to discuss about data types. The kind of data type which we are going to discuss is string, numbers, complex numbers, Boolean values. So first we will start with discussing strings. So how we can use strings in Python, how we can manipulate strings within Python, how we can concatenate two strings, how we can check length of the strings. So all these things we will first look into that. Then we will look into numbers, then we will look into complex numbers, and then we will look into Boolean values. So let's start discussing string. So string data type in Python. So how do we define or declare string data type in Python? So let's jump into the terminal and we will discuss there. So we are going into a spider terminal. So here we will look into that to define any string variable. So how do we define? For example, str1 equal to hello. This is one string. And again we want to define str2 equal to world. So this is two string variable we have defined. So how we come to know that this is a string? If we go into the variable explorer, we can find that we have two string variable. If we want to check the type, as I mentioned earlier, how do we can check the type? By using type function. So here you need to write type str1, so it will return us the type of the variable. So str1 is a string variable. So now how do we can concatenate two string in Python? Concatenation means adding two string variables. So here we will define a str3 and where we can concatenate or add two string together. So how do we can do that? Like plus operator we can use here. Now if we print str3, then it is showing us the concatenated string. See here, we can look into variable explorer as well, and here we can also look into that. And if we check the data type, then how do we can check it? Type str3. Sorry for that, there is typo error. So str3. Now this way we come to know about the concatenation operation. Now next step, we need to know the length of a string. So how do we can come to know that? We can use len function. To do that, print len str3, so it will return the length of an string. You can check the log of your work in the history log as well. What are the commands you have executed so far? So you will get it from here. So I have pasted it over here as well so that you can use it. So now we understand that how to get the length of a string with the help of len function. One more thing I wanted to let you know, if you wanted to provide a comment, so how do you can write the comment into that? So we will be using, for a single line comment, we can use hash or type whatever the comment you want to. Check length of a string. If you want blocks of comment, so you need to use triple quotes. So here you can write the length of a string. So this is another way of writing comment into Python. So now I understand that how to calculate the length of a string. But suppose I wanted to access the first character of a string or second character of the string, how do we can do that? So how do we can do that? For example, I want to access the first character. So you need to write str3, and the first character I wanted to access, the first character, so you need to put the position of that particular character. So it is starting with 0, as I already explained in one of my video. Now if you execute it, shift enter, so you will get to know about this. Select it, shift enter, and it will return H from hello world. If you print all the complete string str3, then what is the value we are going to get? We are getting hello world. But I want to print only the first character of that particular position, then I need to access with the value 0. Why? Because the position of H is 0. The same way, if I want to access the value E, then we need to access that position. This is an array of character. You must remember that this is an array. String is nothing but an array of characters. So here we need to mention where is the E position? It is on the first character. So it is starting with 0 and then second. If we want to access the second value, then we need to specify the index of that particular value, that is here 1, because the value is starting with 0. So now you will run it, then we will get value E. So now we understand that how to access the particular character with indexes. Now let's move further and look into how do we can print repeating of string. So how we can do that? Suppose I want to print 10 times a character. For example, there is a character star which I want to print like this. If I am going to do this, either we need to write print and print it like this. So it will print the character, but this is not the right way. So if we want to print the repeated character, we need to do it like this. Print, and the character which I want to print multiplied by how many times we are going to print. So for example, I want to print it 50 times. And now if I will run it, so it will print that 50 character. So this is one of the feature we can use in Python. So the number of times we want to print the character, we can use it like this. So just remember it whenever we are doing any kind of formatting of output in upcoming programming exercises, we will use this handy character. So just remember it. It is very useful when we are writing a program and when we want to format it. Now move further. Now we will look into splitting strings. How do we split strings? For example, suppose we have a string called, let me write it, str equal 1 equal to, and suppose we have a string, this is good. I want to split the string after comma. So how do we can do that? So we will do that by split function, str1.split, and here we need to mention from which character we want to split it. To do that, we need to specify the character. If you run it now, select it and shift enter, then you will get that it is being break into these number of characters. So that means we are having 3 values and that is coming into an array. So now if you access the first value, for example, if you access first value, so we will be storing this split value into one of the variable first, and then we will try to access it. What is into the 0th position of str2. So here we will see that it has splitted. On the first part it is keeping this is, and in the second part if you will run again str2, then you will find that we will be accessing good. So here it was earlier one string, but after a split it is containing two value. So in the first part it is containing this is, and in the second part it is containing good. Now moving further, we will use another function called count. So how to use count? I suppose I want to count the number of spaces. So how to do that? So we will come here, str1 dot count. What the thing which we want to count? We count the number of spaces. So we need to pass it. So it has three spaces, 1 2 3. So this is what it has returned. So this is one of the functions we can use it. So this is what I wanted to show you. Now moving further, another string function we can look into that, replace. So replace function, how to use replace function? So suppose if we have a string str1 and which contains hello world, and I want to replace hello with hi. So to do that, what we have to do, we need to write str1 dot replace, and here we need to replace with hello with hi. Now if we will run it, first we need to run it, hello world. Now we run it. So the hello world become now hi world, because we have replaced hello with hi. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate you. So next thing we will look into that, how to find a substring within a string. For example, here we will be finding hello. So how to find it? So we need to pass str1 dot find, and within that the string which we want to find it. So for example, hello here, and we are executing it now. So what it has returned? It has returned 0. 0 means it is returning the starting character of that particular string which we are finding. For example, hello is starting from 0th index. So that's the reason it is sending a value 0. That means this string is starting from 0th location of a given string. So that's the reason it is. If hello is not existing within that then it will return -1. So look into that. For example, if we are having a str1 equal to hi world, suppose we have created this variable and we will run it now. Now if we try to find hello within string 1 which is not existing yet, so for example find, it will return -1. So here if you write hello, now run it, it will return -1. Why? Because there is no hello exist within this string. Earlier it was having hello string over there, string there. That's the reason it returned the starting position of that particular string. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate you. Now we have understand string type. Moving to the other data type, that is called number. So let's look into number. Number is very much straightforward. So basically if you type a equal to 10, which I have already mentioned, and if you execute it, then it will return that it is an integer type. So but if you want to assign a float variable, then you need to assign 4.0 something like that, and then it become float variable. So in Python the variable is getting their type as per the value which you are assigning. So this is what the number type is. So number type is pretty much straightforward. There is nothing much complex about it. If you have any question, you can contact me on my Twitter handle. If you have any questions about the data type, number data type, you can ask me. Else we will proceed further and look into the Complex type. So what is the complex type? Complex type, if you remember that mathematical notation, then it has a this formation. The first part is the real part and second part is the imaginary part. In Python, if you are representing the number like this, it will recognize it. So for example, a equal to 3 plus 4j, and you will run it. So see here, the type is complex type. So in Python there is something called complex type, where the first part is the real part and second part is the imaginary part. Now I am going to assign in another variable b equal to 5 plus 5j. Now we will run it. So this is again a complex type. If we will execute it, a plus b, the answer would be this one. See here. So it is returning us this, the answer is 8 plus 9j as per the complex mathematic. Now suppose you want to access the complex and imaginary part separately. So how do you do that? Print c dot real. This is the real part. If you want to access, then it will return 8. See here. And if you want to access the imaginary part, then you need to c dot image. And if you run it, then it will return 9.0 over here. So this is what I wanted to show you in this demo. So moving further, we will look into another type, that is called Boolean type. So we will look into Boolean type. A Boolean can be represented with true or false value in Python. So if you write c equal to true, and if you run it, then you will get that the type is bool. So how to check it? You can also check it while like this, type and see, then here it is a type of bool. In Python, if you pass any value other than empty value, then it become true. For example, if we are having a status equal to bool, and if we are, so it is asking for any value I should enter. For example, if I enter over here that okay, and if you check the status, the value of a status, the type of a status I mean, so here type status, then it will return bool, and the value of the status is true, irrespective of whatever the value you will type. So it has converted that value into Boolean value. Now suppose if we are executing the same line of code again, and here this time we are not passing any value, and here we are coming, here we are passing a empty value. So what is the value it will get? False. Why? Because we have passed empty string. Empty string is equivalent to false value. So this is what I wanted to demonstrate you in the Boolean data type. So that's it guys, this is what I wanted to show you in this session, where I have covered string, numbers, complex number and Boolean data type, which I demonstrated you in this session. See you in the next session, where we will discuss about the collection type. Till then, bye bye, take care.